talk about the hospital he's building here, which is going to benefit everyone. Talk about the zipline center, which is saving a lot of lives. We talk about the fact that he's constructing a bridge across Wiyima. It's another intervention. So we have several, a lot of projects we talk to in this constituency. The NDC, on the other hand, doesn't have a message in terms of what they have been able to do in the the period they were in power. And that message is there. Also, our campaign we are able to relate the campaign to the people. Because Vice President is their brother. He's their son, he's their father, he's their uncle. That sense of belonging. I know politics becomes so much personal. If people can relate, they know that this is a leader I can approach. That message is also something that is helping this constituency and by extension the region. And then lastly, our message is how we are able to use our 9 engagements, smaller groups of, we do it by polling station. Rather than doing even a whole electoral area, you go to a polling station and engage them and know that these are the people. I think that I've started engaging people. I have met Association of Traditional Caterers in this constituency. The reason why I met them was that because these are people who have direct contact with constituents almost every single day. A cocoa seller will be talking to people almost every single day. A watches seller will be. So I have to bring all these people together to talk to them. I've also designed a support package to help them. So when I win, I'm going to enhance that. I'm going to entrench that, and that is more or less empowering women, especially those in that particular sector. We are also looking at the skills training that I'm mentioning. I'm a parliamentary candidate for Walewale constituency on the ticket of the new Patriotic Party. So first and foremost, the role of a legislator is to support government in parliament, i.e. making laws. That said, you are also like a development agent in the sense that you facilitate development to your constituency. My belief and hope is that Dr. Kabiru Mahama Parliamentary is going to emerge as a president, and when he does, and I'm elected as a member of parliament, the 3 most important things that I intend to focus on is education and skill development of the youth. That's the first thing that is of paramount importance to me as a member of parliament, considering the fact that most of the young, the dynamic or the demography of our population that is largely a youth-based population, and most of them will have to go to school, will have to acquire the capacity in terms of human development, and those without the formal education will have to get their skill, and hands-on skill in order to be able to fend for themselves. So that's the first most important thing for me as member of parliament. If I'm elected, by the grace of God, I'm going to be, I would pursue that aggressively. The second most important thing for me as a member of parliament is how do we get people, the agriculture, because most people in the especially the illiterate, agriculture is the major preoccupation of the people. How do we ensure that we modernize agriculture and even our unlettered farmers are able to adopt state-of-the-art agricultural equipment, and then always we have to work commercialization of agriculture to ensuring that we have the Northeast can become the food basket of the region, and Walewale happens to have arable lands. We have to enhance that in order to ensure that our people can have a very good livelihood, and that can also influence the youth. And lastly, how do we ensure social cohesion? Because this is one of the spots on the back of the Boko crisis, there is instability. But in this process, it's women and the vulnerable who suffer the most. How do we ensure that these people are safe, secured, and will have a social safety net for the vulnerable? So these, for me, are the 3 most important things for me. Skills development and education. We have agriculture, and lastly, how do we ensure security of the people? And social security also includes food security, also includes security for the aged and for the marginalized group. So security in this broader sense is what I'm referring to. So I happen to first of all, I have the youth organizer for the constituency. I've set up a parallel campaign structure focusing solely on the youth, led by the youth organizer for my constituency. He goes with a team of young people. This team of young people go around the constituency to preach the message of hope, to let them be part of the DMB story. That's the Dr. Mahama vision for the youth in this country, to let them also feel like the young person like myself being on the ticket of the new Patriotic Party is an opportunity for them to participate meaningfully in national governance should I be elected as a member of parliament. So that arm or that, if you like, campaign structure led by the youth organizer is one of the ways we use to have the youth actively involved. We are also commenting something like connecting with students across the various tertiary institutions in the north, where my constituents are part. I'm reaching out to those people. We organize meetings on campus, on site, to talk to them ahead of the December election. That's another way. Fortunately for me, the youth have also formed a lot of volunteer groups, and mostly led by women. I mean, the young women have formed several, I can count no less than 50 different volunteer groups in the constituency, all of them in their bid to mobilize the youth support of voters for the youth, or in the youth base for the election. So basically, these are my strategy to ensuring that we have the youth actively being part of the campaign, and by extension being part of the government should the vice president be elected and myself elected as member of parliament. I believe, and just like the flag bearer and leader of the party also believe, you believe same, the retail campaign is the most effective and the most appropriate way to reach out to people. Retail in the sense that we can do the mass mobilization of bringing party supporters, but those who will make the difference do not usually come to these big rallies. They sit in their homes, they expect you to come. So we have the 50 volunteers that I mentioned of. They go knocking at doors of people across the various constituencies. And that sheer number of people working on the ground makes our campaign very unique from that of the parliamentary candidate for the NDC and the presidential candidate for the NDC in this constituency. They don't have that strength of having to have many youth groups or many volunteer groups knocking at the doors of voters almost every single day in the various constituencies, the various communities across the length and breadth of this constituency. So that is one. The second thing is that the campaign messaging of the NDC and that of our message is totally different. We count on the successes. We're able to point to some of the life-changing interventions that His Excellency the Vice President has led, especially in this constituency. Talk about road networks that has benefited almost every single person, irrespective of their political affiliation. Talk about the hospital he's building here, which is going to benefit everyone. Talk about the zipline center, which is saving a lot of lives. We talk about the fact that he's constructing a bridge across Wima. It's another intervention. So we have several lot of projects we talk to in this constituency. The NDC, on the other hand, doesn't have a message in terms of what they have been able to do in the the period they were in power. And that message is there. Also, our campaign we're able to relate the campaign to the people. Because Vice President is their brother. He's their son, he's their father, he's their uncle. That sense of belonging. I know politics becomes so much personal. If people can relate, they know that this is a leader I can approach. That message is also something that is helping this constituency and by extension the region. And then lastly, our message is how we are able to use our night engagements, smaller groups of, we do it by polling station. Rather than doing even a whole electoral area, you go to a polling station and engage them and know that these are the people who are voting in this polling station. You're able to mobilize them and talk to them. And that's also another campaign strategy we are using. Aside the social media coverage, we're also able to make sure that people who are not even on the voting ground, our Facebook live streaming of some of our campaign activities, our media presence in some of their campaign activities has increased the coverage or the listenership of people who pay attention to what we do. So we're able to reach out to many people across the constituency by these particular strategies. And basically, these are the things. And also, I know that there are people within the NDC who will not come off the support, but you need assurance from the leader. So I'm doing a profile. I've actually done a profile of some of the people in the other political party who have interest, but they just need a push. They need a new leader they can relate with. So when we do the profile and I get to, know them, I visit them, I pay personal visit to their residence, and we have a chat, and they're able to come along with their support. So basically, these are our strategies, different from the NDC, and we are sure these strategies will work for us. I really think that governance starts with the participation of women in the politics. And like I said, most of the people who campaign for me in these constituencies are women. The women groups, several of them are in this constituency, and they are actually doing the work, and this election is going to be won on the strength of the participation of women in this election. Should I be elected as a member of parliament? I think that I've started engaging people. I have met Association of Traditional Caterers in this constituency. The reason why I met them was that because these are people who have direct contact with constituents almost every single day. A cocoa seller will be talking to people almost every single day. A watches seller will do. So I have to bring all these people together to talk to them. I've also designed a support package to help them. So when I win, I'm going to enhance that. I'm going to entrench that, and that is more or less empowering women, especially those in that particular sector. We are also looking at the skills training that I'm mentioning of. I have an agent whose role is to target these artisans who are women, who are to target cloth weavers. They are to target people like seamstresses. All of them. This coordinator is solely in charge of them, and you have met them. I'm designing a database of these people, and my skills training program I mentioned of, women are going to be the major beneficiaries of it, because they are those people in this industry. They are those people in that trade. So I would be using that to support them. And of course, when it comes to general government recruitment, we have to systematically make sure that consciously that women are equally given the opportunity to be employed. So this is my whole plan of supporting. Also, the LEAD program is something that I have interest in, and I'll be a strong advocate for it. Most of the beneficiaries in this community are the widows, the people who are, the disabled, and they are mostly women. So I would also be using that to ensure that we have a safety net for them, or social cover for those people should we be elected as member of parliament. Also, by governance, when we talk of governance accountability, usually we look at how state or public resources are used judiciously for the best interest of the people, and how the people have, if you like, watch into, they can transparently see how you are managing them. Me, I believe that you cannot really lead the people without really be accountable to them. So one of the ways to ensure accountability is to have regular interaction with them. I will continue with my community engagements. Every single break that parliaments have, I'll come over and I'll make sure that I will not miss this community or this constituency more than 3 months. If I'm a member of parliament, it's been like 3 months I've not visited my constituent, and I'm losing touch of them. It's through this engagement that I'll account to them what's happening in parliament. 2, I want the citizen to participate in the distribution of our common resources, that is a common fund. If the MP's development fund is given, at least community dashboards will be provided for them to know the amount that has come into our community and how we intend to use that. So that's another way of showing accountability to the people. 3, I would annually document my advocacy work and let them play them in local television so that they will know that, okay, as a member of parliament, when we sent you over the last 1 year, these are the advocacy works we've done in furtherance of the interest of the people of Walewale. And once I do that, people will know that this their member of parliament is doing so well or is doing so bad, and they can assess you through that. And lastly, I think that I have been part of the National Communication Committee of the new Patriotic Party. And I was appointed as a member of this communication committee, serving alongside Moses Kofi Nana Kumia and other people as members of the committee. I will still use that same platform to account of my stewardship to the people of the Walewale constituency should I be elected as the member of, hopefully, I'm very confident that I'm going to be elected. And once that is done, I'll still rely on those platforms to account, to ensure that, my tenure as a legislator for the people of Walewale is very transparent, it's open door policy, and people can freely come to you and then ask questions, and then you provide answers to your leadership. I will see a Walewale that is secure without any internal, if you like, with most of the internal security issues being solved, because that is going to be the home of the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana. I'll see a Walewale without water crisis, because it's a major problem of the people of Walewale. In the next 4 years, 8 years, the water situation in Walewale should have been solved. I'll see a Walewale that has good sanitation. Most communities, most homes here do not have private toilets. So a Walewale that will have my leadership with 4 years and 8 years should be every single home must have a toilet facility, that our health system will be improved. I'll say a Walewale that most people are productive and have decent livelihood, where they can be contributing meaningfully to national development, because youth unemployment is an issue. People with skills should be able to do something, and Walewale should be contributing meaningfully to the national. In the next 4 years, I should see a Walewale that is food secure but feeding other parts of the country. These are the visions that I have for the people of Walewale, and I know by the grace of God, with the support of the incoming president, the vice president, who will become the president of the Republic of Ghana, these visions that I've so highlighted will come to fruition. So I would say that the people of Walewale would have to play an important part in the body politics of the country, and in doing so, the leadership they select matters. I believe that I come up as one of the people's person who has harnessed my potential over the years and prepared myself, advocated for this role. I intend to use that, deploy that, make sure that I serve the people to the best of my ability. I'll serve them with humility, I'll serve them with knowledge, I'll serve them with faith. Faith in the people of God, faith in God, and faith in the fact that we are people who can make it possible. Like the flag bearer said, it is possible when we put our mind to it. And the development challenges of Walewale, the human capital issue, the social capital issue, the financial capital issues would be addressed when we have the vice president as the president and Dr. Kabiru Mahama as the member of parliament for the constituency.